Well, hello, everybody out there in, you know, the normal places TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, and sometimes Instagram. Welcome to the show. I am your host here at 412 Productions, Monty Anderson here, and welcome and good morning. We will talk about all kinds of cool stuff here from movies to comic books to action figures to 3D print stuff. I mean, we're going to talk about it all. And that's what we do here on a regular basis. So, as you can see, I do not have my green screen up today, so you can kind of see what's going on in my office. I've rearranged, and I am in the process of still decluttering the office. This is an artist office, and there is shit everywhere, literally. Not like literal shit, but just junk everywhere. I mean, I've got uh, 3D parts right here for my drawing figures, and I've got other drawing figures over here, those type things. This is the female model. I've got the male model over here. I've got white out spread everywhere. I've got my drawing glove. I've got I've got stuff everywhere. I decluttered the floor because I was in a pinch every time that I would basically walk into my own office, where I was walking in sideways because of all of the comic book boxes that were just laying around. V8 Energy, you need to become a sponsor of mine. Thank you very much. But now I'm going to show you guys a little bit right here. The comic book boxes are now right there behind the bag of feed. Yes, that is a bag of feed for our animals. We have two pigs now at the homestead. But just giving you a little quick glimpse of the office. The office space. It's dark in here, but that's all good. So all that is original artwork that you're seeing right here from various different artists. That one's James O'Barr. Got that one off of eBay a long time ago, and he actually wrote a handwritten letter with it as well. But I do have autographs on the wall from many different people. All these different autographs, different artists. Of course, you got I Want to Believe right here from X Files, Sasquatch, Nosferatu. My first comic book cover right there. Psycho Sound #3. Then all my alcohol up there. I don't know if actually ever drink it, but my action figures, some of them. Sworn Nation. If you don't know, you don't know. That's Coffin Comics right there. So, welcome to the show, everybody. You got a small, quick glimpse of the office right there. So, just finished yesterday the whole top secret comic book cover that we couldn't show, you know, because we were keeping it hush hush for the most part. I mean, we would talk about it, but we wouldn't, give what cover it was for, what comic company it was for, who was working with it, and all that good stuff. But now we can finally reveal. And I did reveal, if you've already seen my story, or not just story, but my page, you've seen the video out there. And so, you know, it is right here. I've got to still paint the edge. I still got to do the edge. I'm going to paint it black like I do most of my paintings because it just pops when it's on the wall. So this is her. This is our cover to Legacy Comics, The Job #3. There are two different covers for this right now in digital form. There is a virgin, which is just like you see here, meaning no logo on it whatsoever. And then there's the trade dress, which means that there is a logo right here down at the bottom on this cover for it, and it says The Job on it, and it goes right here. So you can go pick this up. You can actually pick up this painting too if you really want it. And I'm going to do some canvas prints as well of that piece right there. So I need you guys to go get that cover. Just search out Legacy Comics, comics with an X. That is not my doing. That is Patrick is doing. That is his comic book company. And he's been in existence for a little while now. and look forward to getting that sold. It is already selling, so that is an awesome, awesome thing. Um, thank you for the love out there, and please like, share, and follow, and get some more of your friends over here to watch the show, man. To watch the show. Break out that WWE belt, baby. No, I'm just kidding. I don't watch the WWE anymore. I know so many people still do. Um, I don't. Thanks for the chili. Those always help as well. All the money that gets. Good morning, Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr., and welcome to the show. All those gifts that get sent, no matter what one you choose out there, be it the chili or diamonds or galaxies or the funny little hats that go on you and things like that. Those all help go back into the business. It helps the broadcast go. It helps the the printing of prints and things like that. Nope, nope. That's what I said. If you would have been here at the top of the show, I even gave a walkthrough of the office. Um, well, thank you. Well, thank you for me being so cute. I appreciate that. But Mr. Roy Joe Bradley Jr. Yes, the we did a walkthrough of the office a little bit, just a sit down walkthrough, and so with that, I did a little walkthrough. You got to see some of the artwork, you got to see some of the autographs and things of that nature. So, and at that point in time, it is about, I didn't want the green screen today with my logo in the background. I wanted to be able to show the rawness of it all. And so, with that, we got a little walkthrough. We just showed the comic book cover to the job out there. And wow, I got a lot of weirdos today. We talk about everything here. We talk about everything from comic books to movies to, you know, real life. We talk about real life. So, you know, and then you got the crazies that show up on the shows to just type out whatever they want to as it goes along. And those are the ones that should be banned from everything. They love cancel culture so much. They need to be canceled themselves. So, there you go. So we just finished up that comic book cover to the job, number 3, and that seems to be my lot in life with comic book covers right now. Psycho Sound number 3 was my first one, and then we've got the job number 3. Two different covers. You've got the trade dress, and you have the variant uh, Virgin cover with no logo on it whatsoever. And then we have logos. Logos that we're working on for a buddy of mine for his businesses. And we might even talk about autographed comics today. Who knows? This weekend in Van Buren, Arkansas, you have your um, you have your what is it? The Steampunk Festival coming up this weekend, the 10th and the 11th, Saturday and Sunday. We will be in attendance. We will not be set up as a vendor since I'm not doing any comic book conventions this year. Um, we will be there as guests as far as just walking around, checking out all the vendors, and seeing what goods they have. I'm looking for something specific and in particular. So, thanks, man. I appreciate that about the shirt. So, it's a fun shirt. It is the 1977 New York City live in concert for Kiss Destroyer. So there you go. Lane, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. How's my comic series coming along? Well, it's coming slowly, um, because I had to break off and finish this comic book cover. Like I said, it's all finished up right here. That is her. She is up for sale right there. You got money flying around. You got the two main characters in it. They're running from the police because they just robbed a bank. All that good stuff. Right there, right there. So, my comic series, and there's technically going to be two because, like I said, I'm working with Jason Pitts, a movie director here in town, who does a lot of different movies, especially horror type movies, and blood, guts, all that good stuff, and your gratuitous um, topless scenes on occasion. And so the we're in the works of doing a comic book there, but then my normal comic book series, which will be my 4 issue mini series, is is going slow at this point in time. And so it is tedious, if you will. Much appreciated there, Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr. for all the love right there with all of the chilies. I appreciate the chilies. Like I said, all that monetization goes back into the business. Um, and Lane says that's pretty cool. I haven't been in the live in a while, so I was wondering how the series was going. No, it's cool, man. I know that you're still out there, you know, and it's like everything's going slow right now. It seems like I'm actually playing catch up, if you will, um, because I kind of procrastinated there for a bit. Lots of stuff was going on, um, and you know, mental state sometimes gets in the way of certain things, and it's just you just don't have that gumption, that drive that you do all the time. And but as I tell many of people, suck it up, Buttercup. And hello, Red Panda Bean. Welcome to the show as well. So many friends on here today that I actually know in person, except for Lane. Lane, we need to. I think you're in. Didn't you say you're in Oklahoma? That's where you said you were. Um, I mean, I got Mr. Red Panda being here, who used to be in this section of Arkansas, but now lives in a different section of Arkansas. Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr. lives in this section of Arkansas that I live in, so we actually see each other in person periodically on a semi regular basis. So, hi, hello, and how are you? I am doing great, sir. Hopefully, you are doing just as well. You're at your night job, are you not? Sneaking in the live show time. Do I want to play your song? I don't even know what your song is. I'm sorry, but you know, indeed, he says. But no, if you have music or artwork or things like that, if you are a musician, this is the place for you because we love to talk about that type of stuff. Especially like I said, from comic books to artwork to movies, horror movies, sci-fi movies, things with things that go bump in the night. Sasquatch, Bigfoots, which is the same thing. Yetis, those type of things. Not the cooler Yeti, but the actual Yetis. Those type things. And you can tell me what your song is, what your music is. If it's country, I'm sorry, but I don't do country. Okay, that's pretty cool. I have a whole album from the perspective of the ghost. That's pretty awesome. Is it like the ghost from Ghostbusters when they're all in bed together? Not the same bed, but in the firehouse, they're separate beds. Because we can't play that type of music here. Although I've heard plenty of it on TikTok. Um, some pretty interesting songs on TikTok. Let's just be honest. So, okay, Okay. Quadeca Fantasy World, very sad. Well, I'm sorry that it's very sad. Um, I mean, if I was a ghost, I don't think it would be sad because I'm on the other side at that point in time, and now I'm haunting everybody else. But I can see how it's sad from the perspective of the people that are left behind. Now, when it comes from the ghost, do you actually know that you're left behind, or um, huh, it's about basically finding my heaven? Well, that's cool. And we got OD Burner. Is that OD? That is OD, or no, QD Burner. I'm sorry. From here, it looks like an O. My eyes aren't that great anymore, but so it's QD Burner we got right here. He's got an album, or she, I'm not sure, since it's QD. Um, and I don't mean to assume, either way. And I don't know you personally, so if you're male or female, I don't know. We just know that you have an album from the perspective of a ghost. That's pretty cool. Um, send me a link in my DM. I'll definitely check it out, and we'll go from there. Um, let's see. I did a thing this weekend. Um, bought me a motorcycle. As Red Panda Bean says, have a good stream. Back to pretending I know how to do my job. Well, that's all of us. I pretend how to do artwork. I mean, I'm just kidding. I do know how to do artwork, but then it comes to other things, and it's just like, fuck this, you know. Okay, and QD Burner says, yes, it's from me being a ghost, and I'm trying to reach out to people, and it's like they can't hear. I get you. I get you. I mean, that's a cool concept. Send me, like I said, send me a DM with a link in there, and I will definitely check it out after the live show. Oh, let's see. Like I said, this weekend I did a thing. I bought me a monster bike, a monster motorcycle, and it is a Honda 1978 Honda Goldwing GL 1000. Now, if you know what GL 1000 stands for, that is a monster of an engine. That's a 1000 cc, means 1000 horsepower between your legs. And that's a lot of power in a motorcycle. Um, the speedometer only goes to 140, but with the right modifications, you could go faster than that. But who needs to go with faster than 140 on a motorcycle, right? Although I've seen some people that are hitting 100, 120, on their motorcycle, and generally they're running from the police. But anyway, they end up a road sandwich, which isn't cute in any stretch of the imagination. But again, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions. I do not have my normal logo green screen up today because I wanted to show you the office. I actually can now walk through the office without having to trip over things or crush things underfoot or those type things. And you guys always get the logo of no matter what it is, either Antarctic Press when I'm talking about Antarctic Press stuff, which I'm going to stop doing that on my actual live show here, just because I can do a live show for it. But all that Ben Dunn sees is actually the recorded section. He doesn't actually come on to the live show, and so I'm doing a whole separate show just for Antarctic Press stuff, and that is my decision. And I've got two to do. I haven't even done them yet, but I'll probably end up doing that today because I've got so much stuff to work on and so much stuff to do, and so many new things that I'm working on and doing right now. So laying the green screen is pretty cool, but seeing the office looks a lot cleaner. Yeah, no, no. And like I said, and I'll do it again because and I can't reach it from here. So before I couldn't even walk around on the floor, you know, and it sucked because I had to literally walk next to my refrigerator right here, and then to this little path right here because all this right down here was clutter, nothing but clutter. I mean, there was comic book boxes stacked up over there. There was comic book boxes over here. Then I had my art box, which is over here now, over here on the floor that I was getting stuff out of. I couldn't even open up two of these bottom drawers over here for my paint. But now I still got some surface clutter to take care of, all over the place. That's my 3D printer right there. Mr. Roy Joe, Twilight Bradley Jr. got to see it. And then all back here is original artwork. All this back here. Now that picture of the turtles and Batman is not original artwork. That's a print. But everything else going all up in there is original artwork, including the James O'Barr, the Gil Guycrest, Stephen Hughes, Jason Jensen, Morant Michaels, Joe Jusko, Arla Dew. I can't remember those two right there, but Jordy Ensign is the one down here on the bottom of the Boba Fett that you can't hardly see. And then directly behind the TV is Art Nichols, a Spider-Man piece, which he did for me. And then I've got Rudd over there in the corner, some naked women over there in the corner. So, but you know, it is a lot cleaner. I can move around in here now. I can move my chair actually back without hitting shit. Because right here in this little section was where all of my comic book boxes were set up. They were going all the way up to the top of the refrigerator right here, and then they were going all the way up and under the desk. Well, I moved everything that was over on that side of the wall, which is more storage containers. You know, I've got 3 over here now. It did limit my space under my desk right here, but that's all good, you know. Well, that's my jam. X-Files is my jam. You know, I've loved it since it came on. Whenever I first started watching it, and I watched the pilot episode when it came on TV. And you know, I've got tons of X-Files stuff, like Mr. Kevin J. And this is DEF CON. The official program for DEF CON 3, September 6th, 7th, and 8th of 1996. And Mr. Kevin J. Anderson here, he's done stuff for the Jedi stuff. He is the author of the first major hardcover novel for the X-Files as well. Ground Zero, which appeared on numerous national and international bestseller lists, reaching #1. But Mr. Kevin J. Anderson's autograph right here, right there. Mr. Kevin J. Anderson's autograph right there. But I met so many different people there. It wasn't even funny. I mean, David Wohl, Michael Turner. I mean, you know, Michael Turner is no longer with us, but there is this autograph right there. And David Wohl, the creators of, you know, or partial creators of Witchblade, they made it famous. Kathy Christian, right here. We just talked about her. Someone had her picture up on, I want to say it was Sworn Nation, trying to figure out who this was. And, you know, it's like I met her. You know, she played Evangeline. You know, Lynn Wein. He didn't autograph this, but, you know, he autographed everything else that I had, which was Wolverine comics at the time. Mulder and Scully got to be one of the best TV show duos ever. 100%. And it sucked whenever they started truly changing the aspect of it in season 9, when the show kind of started going south, especially whenever they wrote David Duchovny out of the story, even though they kept him in there because of contract negotiations and things of that nature. And it sucked, you know, whenever he was gone for that X amount of time in the show for 2 seasons, basically, 7 and 8 and part of 9. And it was just kind of at that point. You brought in Doggett, you brought in, you know, all those characters that were just basically supporting role characters. And, you know, my heart just sank whenever they yanked that portion. They yanked Mulder out of the situation, out of the equation. Even though they kept his name alive in there because they were searching for him this whole time. But, you know, it's just like, hey, the dude, let him get back to the show, and then let's not dick around with it and turn it into shit, which is what happened. And but I mean, I love the whole series, and I even love the 2 new seasons that they came out with later on, the season 10 and 11, and I'm hoping they do a season 12. But I've also heard that there is a rumor of a reboot, you know, and it's just like, why are we going to reboot a classic like that? Make it something else. I mean, if you're gonna do it, let's just be real. If you're gonna do a new X-Files, Make it a continuation of the show. Don't make it a season one, volume two, all that stuff. Let's go with the continuation. Just like the new Crow movie sucked. Okay. Now, had it been a standalone movie like all the other ones after the original Crow with Brandon Lee, like I talked about on one of my other shows here recently, it probably would have been an okay movie because there was lots of action, lots of CGI stuff, lots of this, that, and the other. But did you have to use Eric's name? Did you have to use Shelley's name in the movie? No, you didn't. You could have picked two totally different names, and made it a standalone story in the Crow universe, just like all the other comic books that followed after the Crow. Now, that being said, there was an instance when, okay, you had the original Crow James O'Barr created, then you had Dead Time, then you had uh, there was two other ones that had Eric in it, okay, but every other one that was created for the Crow title had different characters that came back for vengeance because they were wrongfully killed in some way or another. And that's all they had to do. Take two different names. I'll just do it this way, two different names. Put it as your main characters. And boom, you have a totally new story. It's not a reimagining. You fucked up the story of the Crow. Now, this younger generation, that's the only Crow they're ever going to know. And Lane says that's exactly how sequel movies in Star Wars are. Yeah, no, I get that. And a lot of people are up in arms about the Star Wars movies that are coming out now, and how there's no heart and soul inside of them and things like that. But here's my take on this. And you can take it or leave it. You can hate it, you can love it. It's my opinion, you know. Have you watched the new Star Wars stuff? I'm not talking about you, Lane. I'm just talking about in general. Because a lot of people get their information from what other people put out there. They don't give the movie a chance. I took what every person was saying about the new Crow. Okay. I hated it, what everybody was saying. That it's a reimagining of the classic story that Brandon Lee starred in and made famous. Best version ever of the Crow. Yes, they changed some aspects in it from the comic book. Because if you actually read the comic book, they die on a dusty, dirty road on the back road somewhere. T Bird and his crew roll up, they kill him out there, leave him for dead. Not in an apartment complex like it is in the movie. Which I understand why they did what they did. Okay. But it was still rather true to the story of the actual comic book. Episode 7 was boring, but okay. Episode 8 and 9 were just terrible. The Disney Plus shows are decent, says Lane. And I get that. So, whenever I saw the new Crow for the first time, I did not go to the movie theaters to watch it, so I did not support it that way. Excuse me. I watched the whole movie. I hated every minute of it. There were some decent scenes in there, some decent action scenes, but for the most part, it was just a shit movie all the way around. And it was just like, why are we doing this? You know. But again, now that's the face of the Crow now, not from 1996. Those type things. I think that's when that movie came out. For me, the Death Star not being in a million pieces and Palpatine being alive. uh, no, I get that. I haven't watched any of the new Star Wars stuff here lately, but I've watched the original 9. Let's just put it that way. Um, from the originals, the 1970s version till the 1980 something versions. Those three, I've watched those. I've watched a million times. Now, episodes 1 through 3, I haven't watched as many times as I've watched 4, 5, and 6. A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, you know, Empire Strikes Back. And with that being said, I really don't care about the other ones as much as I do 4, 5, and 6 because that's what I grew up on. That was my Star Wars, if you will. And now you got all these other universes. Have I seen most of them? No. I've seen Solo. I've seen Mandalorian. I've seen. Um, I'm trying to think of all the other ones that I've seen so far. But, I haven't seen everything out there. Let's see. Hot take. I think Return of the Jedi is better than Empire Strikes Back. I get that. I mean, they all have their love factor to them, in my opinion. Um, but some people like one of those three movies that were from the 70s to the 80s, early 90s, probably, better than one of the other ones. And I get that, and it's totally understandable. And you know, but everybody's up in arms about all these new shows because it does not fall into their version of what Star Wars should be. And that's where you get these fandoms that try to destroy an entire franchise because I don't like what you produced. It doesn't matter what I like sometimes. If the producer likes it, the director likes it, the cast likes it, that's what matters. Did they pour their heart and soul into the acting? They probably did. There's some movies out there that you can tell heart and soul was not put into it. Okay. And then there's other ones that it's just like, whoa, you went over the top, you know? And Lane says, I watched the originals and prequels, and I don't consider the sequels canon except for Mandalorian. Mandalorian was good. Now, have I watched all the seasons of that? No, I have not. Like just like Book of Boba Fett, I want to watch it, but there's so many things that I want to watch that I just haven't watched yet. I have so many on my watch list, to watch list. You know, it's just like, geez, man, what are you doing with your life? Oh wait, I'm doing artwork. I'm doing homesteading. I'm not sitting in front of my TV 24/7. You know, those type things. Book of Boba Fett was pretty good as well. So, and that's where a lot of people don't take me seriously. I'm not a serious guy. Oh my goodness. No, I can be serious. Um, just ask my therapist. Well, I appreciate being called Danny Bonaducci yet again. Um, that is not who I am, but if you want to pretend, that's fine. I will play along with your little Danny Bonaducci because I'm not part of the Partridge family. I'm sorry. He was actually older than me, to be honest, because he was already alive for the Partridge family, and I wasn't born yet. So, but that's fine. I've been called many different things as far as actors go. A lot of people mistook me for what's his name, Doctor Horton from Grey's Anatomy, because we were both in the military and we looked very similar to each other, especially when my beard wasn't as white as it is right here in this little section going down the middle. I won't tell you youngins how you get that white streak down the middle. This is a semi family oriented show, but no. But I've also been referred to as, especially in my younger days. There was a professional tennis player, Boris Becker, that I looked similar to as well because of our hair, red hair, and it was long and all that good stuff. And then someone just recently, like 3 episodes ago, 3 live shows ago, uh, referred to me as a street graffiti artist. Um, have you seen Thunderbolts yet? It's pretty good. No, I haven't. I've heard nothing but good things about it so far, though. A lot of people were gonna hate on it, but a lot of people that actually went and saw it said it was really good. And I like what they did. I just saw a TikTok on it this morning, I think it was. They uh, they had the Thunderbolts poster, and they had the cast from the Thunderbolts, and you see Natasha's sister. I can't remember what her name is right off the top of my head, but the other Black Widow. Um, she starts peeling at the Thunderbolts name on the poster, and as she peels it off, it says the New Avengers, and everybody busts out laughing and that type of stuff. So it's pretty cool. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Go find it. It's pretty awesome. I've been one of those defending it since it was announced. No, I get that, and I don't understand the hate towards some of the stuff that's coming out now. Because there's some cool stuff. Now I know they changed the origin story of the Thunderbolts because Baron Zemo, creator, yada yada yada, um, in the comic books. So I just don't understand the hate on a lot of things that come out now. Now there's certain aspects of things that don't ever need to be produced, 100%. When it comes to an MCU movie, let it happen. Don't get up in arms. Don't be so angry. There's enough anger in the world as it stands, you know, and it's just like, don't be so damn angry. So, like I was talking about, I did buy a motorcycle this weekend. It's a fixer upper. I've got to do some tweaking and things like that, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get it to start, throw a battery in, throw some gas in, see what it needs, all that good stuff. But I also found a 1974 Mego of Mr. Robin, really really cheap actually, and he's in great shape. He is wearing the Batman outfit. He does not have his Robin outfit on, so that is a deciding factor in it as well. So I might get one of the new Robin figures and throw the outfit on it. But I will definitely pay, I will. His head's a little sticky because it's old, but here he is, folks. Mr. Robin in the Batman outfit. Still articulate. Feet still do its thing like it's supposed to. Arms still do their thing. Hand, all that good stuff. His head, like I said, is a little bit sticky and tacky, but I'm gonna fix that. So his head is off colored, almost like a zombie right there. It is a little gray, but that's what happens to Megos, especially if they've been in the sun and things like that. But his body color is still great. It's still that nice pink color when it came out in 1974. Um, but not his butt. But he's gonna go with my vintage Mr. Spock that I've got somewhere in the office. I gotta find him, dig him out. But there you go. He was an awesome little find when we were at the antique store, walking around. Actually, the girlfriend once again, who found this action figure, which I didn't show Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr. I did not show you this when you were here the other day. What was that? Saturday, Sunday. That was Sunday. But I didn't show you this. I'm sorry. My bad. I showed you the office. I didn't show you the figure. Um, and so you know, you find some cool stuff if you actually go antique shopping every now and again. And there's several of them that have tons of action figures and then comic books and things like that. But some of them want some primo prices for their comic books, and they're not primo comics. 100%. They find a price that happened 20 years ago, and it's like, oh well, that's the price I'm sticking with. It's just like, no, you can't do that. I mean, you can do that, but no one's going to buy it because you should see the spine ticks. You should see the bends in it. You should see the crease in the cover. You should see the rip in the cover. There was somebody that had a I can't remember which comic book it was right now, but it had a big rip chunk out of it, and they were still asking like $7 for it. It was just like, no, that's not. There's no way that's a dollar comic book right there at the most. I mean, 50 cents tops, but you know, but you're asking $6 or $7 for it? No. I'm about to buy the special edition collection of a game called The Last of Us Part 2 for $200. Well, damn, dude, buy some artwork. No, seriously, no. You do what makes you happy, and The Last of Us is one of those games that's fun, you know. And they've also got the movie or the TV show that just started dropping its episodes. I'm gonna wait till all episodes drop and then I'll watch it. I'll binge watch it because I hate this shit that they come in and drop an episode here, an episode here, an episode here, and you've got to wait. No, I hate that. Give it all to me at once so I can binge watch it and be done, you know, and wait for the next season. So, but I mean, I understand why they do it that way because it gets more spark, it gets more buzz, it gets more, you know, push out there for it. And you know, I'd rather just watch it all at the same time. So that's why I don't watch certain series whenever they come out because oh, we're dropping this Friday, we're dropping this Friday, we're dropping this Friday. Oh, we skipped this Friday because something happened and we have to drop next Friday. You know, those type things. Um, and it's just like no, I don't do that. I don't play that game. Drop it all and let's watch it. You know, it comes with a pretty cool statue, and I love the games. It's a statue of Ellie playing guitar. That'll be cool. That's cool. I like it. So please like, share, and follow. And if you don't, go up here. Not you guys on YouTube and Facebook, but right here on TikTok. You can go up here, find my link to my website, and you can follow all the rest of my socials, which is as it goes. If my logo was up here on TikTok, which it is over here, right here on YouTube and Facebook, you'll find my alien logo. Directly under that, you'll find my socials. You'll find Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you're here on TikTok. So please go ahead and like, share, and follow. We're very close to 3,500 followers at this point in time. We're trying to reach that 10,000 follower group. You know, we'd actually like to be at 1 million or 2 million, but that's not going to happen anytime soon because I'm not that big. Well, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'2", 240 pounds. But, you know, I am not like as in popular wise. People only come on for a few minutes and then they leave. But that's okay. You got to start somewhere. The Last of Us Season 2 is pretty good so far. It just feels like they're rushing it a bit. And I get that. And I hate that with the season 2 stuff. Because I think like in Walking Dead they did the same thing. They rushed some aspects, some deaths. I heard episode 2 had a big death in it that got everybody up in arms. You know, a plot twist, if you will, and it made a lot of people upset. But you know, again, I'm gonna wait, watch the whole thing, and go from there. And once it all drops, and but there's so many cool shows that are out there, and just like let's take You, which we talked about a couple episodes back. Well, I say episodes, a couple of lives back, and Joel, yeah, and you know it. Watching You, if you've never watched You, psychological thriller of a madman pretending to be sane, if you will. Season 5 that just dropped was a rushed feel. But I can see them continuing You with different aspects of different people. Because like at the end it said there are many of Joel Goldbergs out there, or there are other Joe Goldbergs out there. You know, so we're not going to quit. So does that mean that they're going to continue the story with Joe being in prison and continuing the story of other Joes out there that are doing the same thing, the stalker vibe, the murder vibe, the serial killer vibe, you know, those type things. We don't know. Or was that the complete finale for You? You know, it was a good show. It was, but there were rushed parts to it. Now, the first three seasons were very well put together, very well articulated, and when it comes down to it, they could have slowed down on those shows. Um, it just seems like they're missing big parts of the game, and we're talking about what Lane's talking about down here is the game, The Last of Us, which has been turned into a TV series, which has become a very big hit on both the game side and on the TV series. And he says it's not terrible. No, I get that, and I think there's certain aspects that they can't do for whatever reason. Even though we have all this technology and CGI and other parts and things like that we can do the exact same thing that they're doing in the game, you know. And it's just like, why aren't you putting those aspects of the game into or more into the TV series, you know? Because I've played Last of Us on the phone version. I haven't played it on any other console, and I got bored with it. You know, um, it was just like, it's just another role playing action adventure game. You know, like The Walking Dead or something like that. But you know, I got tired of it and deleted it off my phone. You know, but that's just me. You know, I'm not a 100% gamer anymore. You know, I'll play a game here and there, something mindless, something okay. I need to kill a little bit of time. What can I pull up? Oh, I've got my Madden. Oh, I've got this other football game. Oh, I've got this game. You know, a strategic game. You know, those type things. And but as far as just sitting down and playing a video game, I don't have that kind of time. I've got animals to take care of. I've got things to build. I've got um, an office to clean and declutter. But it says what makes no sense is they're making season three, part two of The Last of Us, part two. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Because why not make it part three and continue from there? But you know, I don't make the game. I don't make the rules, buddy. I don't make the rules. I only make the rules for this house right here, for me and my office. You know, the rest of the time I have to share responsibilities with the girlfriend. You know? So why rush it when you're making a season three? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe with the new aspects of certain characters gone, they are going to rush it all, and season three is going to be the finale. You know, who knows? I mean, there's no rhyme or reason on what producers think. Um, if they don't get the ratings they want, if they don't get the financial backings they want, you know, it's all gone. They're like, okay, we're done. You know, it's just like take Star Trek, 1960s. You watch all the seasons, you get to the very last one. There's no cliffhanger. There's no goodbye. There's no farewell. There's no nothing. It just ends. Boom, done. And it's just like, whoa, wait, hold on, hold on. We need some more episodes. We need some finale. We need some closure here. You know, but you don't get it. You get the end of the series, of the seasons of the TV series, and then boom, you jump straight to the movie. It's just like, no, I want a closure to the TV series that transitions into the movie. You know, season three for sure will be the finale, but why rush a season two when you're already making another one? Again, buddy, I don't know. I really don't know. The only thing I can tell you is just wait and see. Wait and see where they go with it all. And this is what makes our show great, folks, is people like Lane here, who actually, and Roy Joe Bradley, Twilight Jr., who bring up subjects and talk about subjects that is passionate to them. Like if Roy was here, he'd be talking about, you know, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, and Dallas Cowboy football. And, you know, his liking of the Red Hulk in the new movie, in the new Captain America movie. But now you've got Mr. Lane here who brings up all kinds of different aspects that we want to talk about, that we want to make relevant to not just this conversation, but to you guys out there as well. Um, because, you know, without the support of people like you guys, we wouldn't have a platform to talk about whatever we want to talk about. And I would still do it. Even if I had nobody commenting on my section, which I've had many a lives where no one has talked shit, or anything. But then you get the crazies like happened right off the bat, um, talking all kinds of stupid. I can't say that word. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, TikTok. Please restrict me. Asinine. But anyway, that talked all kinds of. God, what kind of word can I throw in there? It. I can't even say that. I'm trying to think of a peaceful word that doesn't get me restricted on TikTok. Hold on a second. It's coming to me. Uh, a the two people that came on and started saying ridiculous ridiculous stuff right off the bat. Those are the people that need to be canceled. Okay, 100% because they are just ridiculousness in a nutshell. And if you want to go, you can scroll back through and you can find what they were saying and things of that nature. But I'm not going to read what they were saying, other than they thought I was cute. One of them did anyway, and you know, and then they just went off the wall. Okay, so when this live show ends, you can go back and read all the comments because you can find my live shows somehow out there. But it is one of those things that I don't understand the mind of people that want to come on to somebody else's platform and just be ridiculous. That's the nicest word I can say. that won't get me restricted up here. You know, yeah, those people in chat were crazy. How do they not get banned? I don't know. You know, because number one, I won't report them. You have the freedom of speech to say whatever the hell you want to say on my platform. But if you're going to talk stuff like they were talking about, go do it on your own show. Go make your own live. Or wait a minute, you don't have enough followers to go live, so you have to go try to destroy somebody else's platform. That's why I just ignored them after a certain point because they were just being nice word ridiculous on my platform. You know, and by the end of the week, I'll have over 6,000 viewers that have watched all my lives and things of that nature. So it's all good. Now, if I could get those 6,000 viewers to like, share, and follow, that would be even cooler, because that would put me at 9,000 people if 6,000 of those people would actually follow my page. You know, Lane, you're an awesome dude, man. He says, "See, I'm on the younger side, but I hate my generation so much. They're so annoying." And that's a nice word, annoying. Because I right off the top of my head, I've got about 10 different words that I could call them. Uh, but no, this younger generation, I just don't understand anymore. And it's not mine to understand because mine is of the generation that you weren't smacked in the mouth enough, growing up. Uh, and it shows. And I'm not talking about you, Lane. I'm talking about other area from 2000 on generation that need it. Oh, Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr., you're my age, motherfucker. I mean, we are on the younger side of our generation. So, but no, no, I enjoy where I'm at in life as far as age wise goes and the maturity that it takes. And I'm not mature, trust me, by any stretch. I can play mature, I can act mature. I am an actor and a voice actor. But when it comes to the day to day being mature and shit like that, no, I'm just as juvenile as I ever was. fart jokes still make me laugh, or those type things. And it's just like, but this generation of cancel culture and me, and cry, and it's just like I just don't understand. It's just like, go get in the sun a little bit. Quit staying holed up in your mom's basement playing tiddlywinks with your Game Boy or whatever the hell you're playing these days. Switch, or whatever the new handheld game is off of TikTok now. And I'm not, again, Lane, I'm not pointing you out, okay? You're a cool dude. You have some knowledge behind you. And but some of the other people, it's just like, get out and do something. Go make some real friends. Quit with the doll in the corner type of thing. That's creepy. Some people would say my office is creepy too, because it's got patchwork ceiling and things of that nature, and it's got autographs on the wall. Oh my goodness, autographs! It's got artwork on the wall of naked chicks and things of that nature. Oh my goodness, really? And but you know, it's not. There's no whips and chains on the wall in here. Those type things. Yes, I do draw that, but that's not what's in here. But I just don't understand, you know. And then the movies that they want made just are, again, nice word, ridiculous, that they want made, or that they think is the best movie since sliced bread, and I just don't get it. I've watched some of the movies that have gotten top box office billing and top money earners for the weekend or whatever, and it's just like, um, how, why? I don't understand it. I mean, I understand the movie, but it wasn't good, you know. And there's a lot that I would not have elevated to the number one slot in the box office, you know. But then there's tons of them that I agree with that are number one at the box office. And it just it's just like some of the comic books that get created now. It's just like, how are those getting elevated to the top slot? Other than this group is buying them, or this group is buying them, or this group is buying them. Me, I'm hoping mine just sells once it comes out, the 4-issue miniseries that I'm working on. And it's just like, what aspects am I going to throw into mine that are going to make it completely different than everybody else's? Because you got to look at, every genre has been done out there in the world of comic books. 100%. There is nothing that my comic book is going to have in it that somebody else doesn't have already. And so it's like, so what's going to set mine off? What's going to make mine different? What's going to make mine unique? You know? And I'm hoping it's just me that makes it unique, that makes it different, that makes it fun. Because so many comic books now are so serious, you know. I want mine just to be fun. There will be serious moments, there will be damaging moments, there will be funny moments, there will be, just all kinds of different things in there that I hope to grab the attention of the reader, you know. And I hope it works, but it's all coming from my mind, and sometimes my mind goes to some dark bum bum bum. But no, seriously, I'm hoping that it's fun, and it's what people want. Well, thanks, Lane. He says your comic books are unique because you have Bigfoot and aliens, which is awesome. Yeah, I like to think so. A lot of people just don't believe. Like my poster says, I want to believe, but I don't have to want. The only thing I haven't seen is aliens. I've seen UFOs, I've seen Bigfoot, and I know people are like, wait a minute, he's just talking crazy shit. No, I've actually seen those. And the Bigfoot was several years back here in Arkansas. On a reservoir trail, and that was a cool sighting. It was only a brief moment. I didn't have a camera out. I was hiking, so you know, and he disappeared off into the woods, and I didn't have enough time to, oh, hold on, let me get the blurry video for you, all that good stuff. Um, but no, it's a lot of people just don't believe that those things exist. The cryptids, the mythological creatures that people still say exist and have footage of, but people are like, no, that's just CGI. No, that's this, that, or the other. That's the person in a suit. Those type of things. But to each their own. You believe or you don't believe. It's just like ghosts, apparitions, demons. Do you believe in those? Even if you got a blurry video, everyone would still say it's fake. Well, no, 100%. I mean, because you've got the tons of skeptics out there, the conspiracy theorists, the people that are like, well, that's just a bunch of bullshit, you know, and you just can't please everybody, and that's just like with movies, like we were talking about. You can't please everybody with every movie. You can't please everybody with a true sighting that you have seen, that you have witnessed personally. You know, I've seen many different UFOs. I've seen one Bigfoot in my lifetime so far. I've seen plenty of ghost activity. I've seen plenty of apparitions. I've seen plenty of shadow people. I've seen plenty of poltergeist activity, and that's just living in this house right here. That's why I say I keep this around on a regular basis, because whenever I start hearing things go bump in the night, because it's still nighttime for most people, even though it started early morning, I will start playing this. I will start asking questions in my own office, and I will get responses. Might not be able to understand them, but I've gotten responses on this little tape recorder, this digital tape recorder right here. You know, and it's just one of those things that welcome back, Mr. Roy Joe Twilight Bradley Jr. Welcome back to the show. And so I've gotten plenty of apparitions, and I haven't captured them. I've captured a lot of orbs. In fact, I was talking. I don't have it in here. It's my puzzle box from Hellraiser, and I was talking about it one day on one of my live shows, and I was wearing a hat, and you see this orb come over and fly directly into my hat, you know, and damn, lost connection. You were off doing other things. I get it. I understand. And you can take your phone when you go poop. It's okay. You can watch me while you poop. I don't care. So, but no, and I actually had to stop my show because I saw it on the camera. I didn't see it in real life or in with my own eyes. I saw it on the camera, and I was like, wait a minute, did you guys see that? Because you could literally see it go from off camera and then into my hat. And it stopped at my head in my hat, and it was just like, wait a minute, what? And it was just like that was cool. But you get all kinds of stuff. My library is pretty active. Now I could have a haunted doll or two in there because I collect these creepy clowns. So if anybody finds creepy clowns out there, let me know. Send me the link. Whatever. The creepier, the better. I've got some creepy clowns in my library on the shelf and on the bookshelf, and I love the creepier, the better is awesome. I can't get enough of them. And so we always find some clowns at antique stores and things like that. She's like, "This is creepy." I was like, "No, that's too cute to be creepy." You know. And there was one that was labeled creepy or scary clown. It was just like, "This isn't scary. This is like a cute little clown that's got some makeup on." You know. And it's got a little umbrella over its head and stuff like that. It's just like this isn't creepy. This is not creepy at all. You know. So I did not buy that one. I haven't bought one in quite a while because I haven't found one that's got that creep factor that I really want. So, well, there you go, all you guys out there. You got a single girl looking to hang out. So, um, but no, the creepier the better on my clowns. Um, Like if it's got the rubbed off paint, the white eyes, the different aspects that make it creepy. Um, but if they've got the big smile on their face and their little chibis and things like that, or chibi, well, however you want to pronounce it's just not. It's just not creepy. It doesn't have that creep factor. It doesn't have that I might be haunted factor. It's just like we bought a haunted doll. My girlfriend bought a haunted doll for me for her birthday. Um, and they said it was haunted by a demon. You know why? You know why it wasn't haunted by a demon? Because a demon's not going to give you its name, first and foremost. It was an entity that was possessing the doll. Yes, Diego is his name, and so he has not graced the inside of the house yet. Let's just put it that way. He's out in my workout room. We periodically talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a little while. Yes, I talked to the haunted doll because it's still an entity that's locked inside of this doll. It's a gesture doll. So basically, what I have to do is seal the box that he's in and have it blessed. And I can do this myself. You just got to get the right incantations and things like that, so that you can keep it contained within this box, so that it does not venture out into all of your other stuff. But I mean, eventually he will come inside. I just have to seal the box, you know. And whenever I'm in that room, I do talk to him. I'll give him a hey Diego, what's up? Hopefully you're doing good, all that good stuff. And because you want to be respectful. Now, there are times that I do provoke. Okay, even in my own house. And damn it, I need a longer cord, bitch. And and the girlfriend hates it because she hates that I'm provoking. The spirits. Um, but I want a response. I want a response. You know, I want the activity to amp up just a little bit. You know, because it's like it's been a while since anything's happened. It's been a while since something's flown off the shelf and landed on its base. You know, me personally, I'm burning every doll I see. They're creepy. There's actually a really creepy one that's of a Shirley Temple doll from the 1960s, 1950s or 60s or something like that. They want a little bit much for it, but I get it. It's Shirley Temple doll. It's really, really creepy, and I really, really want it. Because she's got the cracks in her arms, from the age, and she's got, you know, the dead eyes, the dead staring eyes, and those type things. But I don't mind that type of stuff. Um, I actually want that. You know, turn my house into a museum of creepy dolls. I don't care. Um, because what if one is truly haunted? What if one is truly possessed, like Annabelle, or those type things? But no, and you can do protection spells. You can do protection rituals. To keep that entity locked away. Um, and it's just one of those things that has always fascinated me since I saw my first demon when I was a kid. You know, and yes, I've seen a literal demon. The red glowing eyes, the no explanation for what you're seeing. You and it's just like from that point on, I've seen things. You may open something you don't want to, for sure. I'm open to it. 100%. Uh, Mr. DJ Moto, because I have a Ouija board in my house. I have crystals in my house. I've got um I'm going to say I've got haunted objects in my house, 100%. You know, and I don't mind. You know, um, because I know how to protect myself and the girlfriend from it all. And it's those that open those doors that don't close those doors that continue to be affected by the situation. And you know, yes, you don't want to play with things that you don't know fully about, 100%. That's why I provoke from time to time. You know, uh, because I want that experience. I want that recording to happen. And I know it's not going to happen every time. Because the spirit's like, fuck you. Whatever. Lane says, on that note, I'm going to go to sleep before you scare me with more ghost stories and dolls. I'll have to bring some of my creepy clowns in here on one of my next lives. Just because, it's always more fun that way, you know. But you go to bed, you go have your sleepy sleep time, and dream about the spectral world, the paranormal, and just the different occultic stuff that you can find. We go to occult shops all the time too, so it's always cool. It's always cool to see all the cool stuff that they've got, you know. And pretty soon, you're gonna start seeing little things float around here that are going to be in my comic book that will be little hints dropped here and there. So you're just gonna have to wait and see what those are, what those little props are gonna be from now on. I got my 3D printer up and running. It hasn't done great prints for me yet. It's done a couple of good prints. This guy's supposed to have some wings, but he's a little gargoyle. He's still cool, but he's just not as cool as he could be with his wings out there, all that good stuff that it run this way and down his body. But he's still kind of cool for what printed out. I should have hollowed him out, and it probably would have worked a little better. But I did not hollow him out. He does have a tail, which is not supposed to be coming out of the base. It's supposed to be coming off his ass. But they put it on the base for whatever reason. All that good stuff. So it's coming along. And but yeah, I still have a lot to learn when it comes to all this. I've got a new base, a vat coming because I think I fucked this one up big time. So I'm getting another one coming, and we're gonna start fresh and new. Once it does arrive, it should be here by this weekend. I think it said the 8th through the 10th is 8th through the 12th or something like that on shipping. So hopefully it gets here soon, and I can redo some things with it and go from there, and all that goody good stuff. But it's been a good show. I appreciate you guys. Even the ridiculousness at the beginning of the show, um, which was just idiotic syncrasies, if you will. But and I'm glad you guys didn't have to endure that up here on YouTube and Facebook. What was going on with the ridiculous people right off the bat on TikTok. So again, those are the people that need to be canceled right there. And if that's what they want to talk about on their own platform, which I doubt they can even go live on their own platform, that's why they come onto other people's platforms and try to make a shit show of everything. And it didn't work, buddies. It didn't work. But nice try. Very nice try. So, but I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions. Please like, share, follow. Go up here. Not you guys on YouTube or Facebook right there, but you guys here on TikTok. You can find my website link right there. And you can follow me on all my other social medias. Once you go there, you'll see my alien logo, which is not behind me this morning. I went raw. I went raw dogging it right here. And you can follow all my other links, my other social links there on my website. And Mr. Roy Joe Bradley Twilight Jr. is also taking off, as well as Mr. Lane is taking off. And that means, the show is coming to an end. No, I'm just kidding. No, it is coming to an end, though. I've got some things I've got to get done. I got some more shows to record and get out there and get them going. But I appreciate each and every one of you stopping in, checking out the channel for as long as you did, even if it's just for a few minutes. Hopefully you do like, share, and follow this so other people can come in and check things out. But as we say, as we leave our show here at 412 Productions, the Art of Monty Anderson, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.